And we're live talking about Dandadan again with a special guest, Tyler!
Yo,
Woo,
it's
baby!
the return of
The,
special guest Tyler.
the return of the special guest. So Tyler also reads Dandadan, but he does it in secrecy. Um, and
Right.
I've never actually talked to Tyler about Dandadan because we've kept it as like a known unknown between us. So now that I have you on the internet recording, Tyler, tell me what you think of Dandadan overall before we talk about chapters 93 through 106.
I read this weekly, and I don't read Sakamoto Days weekly. That's more like if I got nothing else to do, I'm at that point.
Yeah.
Dandadan real good. Peak thing about Dandadan is everybody looked different.
Yeah, the character designs are very good, and even
Yeah.
Tyler can tell them apart. That's a plus.
Yeah. And you're gonna have to forgive me on all the names here.
Oh, totally. No, it takes us. It took me and Joe like three discussions, so like 50 chapters to remember Okarun Takakura's name.
Yeah,
Takakura.
I was just re-listening to our last one, Willard, just to remember what we talked about. Yeah, man, I think every other section was us trying to remember someone's name.
Oh God, really? Up
Yeah.
to last one, we were bad that
Yeah.
recently. Jesus.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Jin is the best guy because he's got all the
Gigi.
JoJo poses. Gigi.
Yeah.
Good start.
I
Good
like
start.
how, I like how Gigi always is doing JoJo poses.
He's not even. He's doing like neurodivergent stretching. Like he's so good.
I think they might be like what was that? What's the giant like original robot guy from Japan? It's like the original
Ultraman.
mecha. Yeah, he's
what-
like doing like Ultraman and Power Ranger poses.
There's definitely references to everything in Dan, but I'm glad you mentioned that you like Gigi best. I was curious who your favorite was.
I like him, and I like the evil power within him.
Yes, the Evil Eye arc. Joe and I were saying up to this point, the Evil Eye arc was the best arc.
Yeah. This has so between Ken and Gigi, they have big Demon Slayer vibes where it's like Ken is Tanjiro and Gigi is Inosuke, the guy with the boar head. He's just like, "Come on, dummy. Come on, dum dum."
I really like their relationship because like Gigi's obviously like the attractive, like he's got Riz, but he's also kind of a doofus, but he's very kind to the fact that Ken's trying to make his move.
Yeah, he's a good lad. He really is.
Which is why when we left off last talk, I was kind of pissed that we were going back to like Gigi and Momo misunderstandings where he walks into them sleeping together.
I mean, he didn't walk into them sleeping together. He nearly did.
He astral projected in to them together, which can bring us to this batch. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that approach we did with One Piece, where I'm going to summarize like the main sections that we've gone through, and it's not that much. It's going to be a broad summarization. There's only really hold on. Actually, there's 5 bullet points for the summary. So basically, we have like Okarun's Spirit Adventure, which is like a couple of chapters, and then we have the start of the invasion that we've been building up to. We have the one Kinta like cutaway chapter. That's the mech dude. And then we have the Vamola flashbacks basically right after that. And then the most recent chapter is kind of the return from the flashback, and that's where we'll cut it off from now because I'm sure there's still quite a few chapters to this arc that we can talk about later. So I will ask a general question about any of these sections. Like, do you guys have any highlights or thoughts about what's been going on? What's the vibe lately with these chapters? I have a feeling they're positive.
I I want to point out one chapter in particular. Not in the sense of like, oh, I think this is a great chapter, because I just thought it was the cringiest, funniest shit. But it's when we cut away to the nerdy mech guy for a chapter and what he's been doing.
I actually wanted to say that that's one of my favorite chapters in the series. I didn't think it was cringy at all. I thought it was like really good actually to kind of explain that character, because I've been kind of scratching my head of like, is this guy for real like a party member? Like, what are we gonna do with him? He's too goofy.
Yeah, but like I do like that we get some background on him, but it was just also so goofy where like, I'm gonna get this eye patch, I'm gonna act like I got injured, and I'm gonna come and look all cool and very Evangelion kind of a thing. Like he walks into the classroom and he's all like loud and trying to grab attention.
To me, it's very Usopp behavior.
Yes.
Of like when he's like early Usopp behavior, because like I think what that chapter does a lot is good characterization for like what kind of person he actually is and his insecurities, because he's like rehearsing the speech to join the group. He's comparing test scores with other people, and you find out that he's not actually smart, but he will look down on the one test score that's below him, and that's enough to like make him feel better that he's above anyone. So you can like flip that switch. You got that soccer practice where he like pretends like he knows a lot about soccer and then completely fails. And really it just builds up to like those final scenes where he's trying to
Wait, you're glancing over the entire like conversation he has with that child that's standing next to him. Yeah, during the soccer practice.
99.
He is talking a lot about like
the right wing's got poor defense.
Yeah,
but like he's trying to pretend like he's actually good at it, and then he goes out and just completely like he can't keep up with the ball, and the play just passes by him, and then he just tries to pretend like he's cool after that.
Yeah, ow.
But I don't know. Guy. It was a good way to build that he's just a kid who's trying to regain the glory from the one cool thing he did, which was fight a giant robot in a mech, which I will give it to him. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty peak. Like if you came to me and you said I peaked in high school because I piloted a mech and fought a dinosaur robot, I'm like, yeah, all right. I don't think you could get higher than that. I'm sorry.
That's such a fair peak to have, to be honest. Now, since I read this on like Manga Plus has a little comment section at the end of each chapter.
Oh wow!
Which I think is really nice. Like after you scroll through the chapter, you just scroll down and you see like
comments on this. By the way,
on Viz as well.
Yeah, like go.
Oh
go
shit!
up.
Actually, like a good amount of comments too. Well, okay, I did not know. I only read on the Shonen Jump app, aside from Manga Plus with the Viz series.
So,
anyways,
I literally saw this, but yeah, go ahead.
They pointed out that the note was probably left for the grandma, so he saw it and took the note, and now grandma's gonna show up there and not have any idea what's going on.
No. Okarun tells her that aliens are attacking.
Right, but she doesn't know where the fight is. It's at the Tokyo Tower.
Gotcha.
At least that's what people were thinking, and I was like, that is so unironically funny that he's having like this big hero moment, and then it just leads to that. But yeah, I don't know. Are y'all excited for this character becoming more important? Because I know a while ago people were like, I hope this guy doesn't join the crew for real.
No, I think he's great.
I hope he doesn't. I hope he stays as this joke, as somebody they just keep leaving behind.
Aw, let him play.
Put him in, coach.
Put him in, coach, except for if it's soccer. do not put him in.
But Willer, we got another soccer shot in the.
Okay, that I forgot to mention that, but I did think about that while I was reading. Tyler, we saw like a theory one time that the entire series is building up to a like multi-intergalactic soccer tournament with Okarun's balls. And the more we think about it, the more we like this theory, because you get Momo as like the goalie with her big arms, and then everyone else is like really acrobatic and fast and has like skill sets that would be good at playing soccer.
Where does Vamola in the kaiju suit fit in? Is she goalie?
I know. I think she's a striker. I think she's got the ego to her.
Yeah, or Vamola runs defense, it just blindsides people to get the ball away from them.
No. Oh, like,
Ogren's gotta be striker, right? He's gotta be the hurt.
He's fast as fuck, boy. Of course.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Look, we just need 11. We got the Crabman. The Crabman counts, and we got Grandma.
Yeah.
So that'll
Turbo
be
Granny is Kitman. Kitman is...
Turbo Granny's definitely a coach in this scenario. Maybe Granny might be too powerful. Anyways, it's our wildest dream. It may not happen, but the series is crazy enough to where it could happen.
You just get one villain from every arc, basically, on the opposite team.
Oh, Serpoion can now be part of the team. It's true. Dude, these aliens are fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
Another thing Joe and I have talked in the past is that, like, we thought the ghosts were way more interesting than the aliens, and I don't know what your perspective is on that, Tyler.
Yeah, here's the thing. The ghosts are more interesting, but I feel like the ghosts are also a lot easier than the aliens.
True, because they get their sad, like, before life backstories.
Mm-hmm.
Which
they have a gimmick.
Yeah.
And they have a gimmick to them that they can exploit, too.
Yeah. They're you know, like, it's packed logic when it comes to the ghosts, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, totally. And then the aliens were kind of joke characters until recently. Like, I like the Manga Cafe stuff too with the Serpoion. That's like when I started like taking the aliens more serious.
Hot take. I'm curious about this. Because Vamola is from. They keep what is the race they keep calling them?
Sumerians.
Yeah, Sumerians. So I'm like, are they from space, or are they from the past?
I think they are the alien race that built the pyramids for the Sumerians. Like that's the joke, kind of.
Yeah, obviously, but I'm wondering if they've actually traveled through space or have they traveled through time?
No,
on the planet.
I think they've traveled through space.
Like I picture like there was a colony of them in the past in Earth, and that's where the Sumerians we know are.
Mm-hmm. I think the final battle of this fight though is gonna be since we're talking about like the Sumerian fights, you know, and all that stuff. I'm wondering if that thing that eats people is gonna show up in Tokyo.
I think that's like the mother alien, and that thing is horrifying.
Yes,
so it's gotta die. It's gotta die really bad.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? Why is there berserk in my Dandadan right now?
It is.
Like, kill it with fire.
That clearly the flashback's the best part. So let's talk around it to just knock out other points. We can talk about Okarun's spirit adventure.
The granny, the Turbo Granny and Granny can talk to him.
Because like I forget why. Because he's just a floating spirit. I think he's talking to people through phones, as I recall.
She does the little like look through the eye. Her.
Like, she does like the finger eyes.
I think that's an old Japanese like kid like you can see ghost, sort of deal there.
And he learns how to turn into a spiral to like travel through electric currents. This is the wackiest shit, and I wonder if it'll come back up in any way. Like he'll purposely turn into an astral projection to like mess up someone's electricals. I don't know. I'm guessing.
He's unlocking his next power upgrade. Turbo Granny got to teach him how to go fast.
They all are, because like there's not much to say, I think, in this spiral energy. But I do think one thing I'll say, it's a good way to keep Granny off the arc, because she made like a promise to another spirit to take this job, and if she doesn't, that's like gonna be equally bad or something. So she just does her job very well, and she can't. Like, she's got to trust the kids on this one, which I think is a really good story reason to keep her out. But not much else to say about this travel story.
Yeah, I was going to say for but Granny in general, I like how she kind of, like, puts on this air of, like, oh, you're going to take care of it. You like, just, like, don't worry about it. You're going to take care of it. This is what you need to do to, like, give Ogurun, like, a bit of confidence to go back and deal with it, and then she's like, fuck, we gotta go. It starts like running off with Turbo Granny.
She does not know how bad this is.
Yeah.
Man, every spread with these
The
aliens
Elite
is
Four
insane.
are intense.
They're so good, and don't forget that this guy in the middle here of chapter 95 is from Persona, as far as I'm concerned. And
Yeah, I hated that guy in Persona. And don't forget the one on the. Sorry, Joe. The one on the left is from Baki.
Yeah.
Shut up!
I love Small Sniper Coon.
Oh, it's the Elite Five. That's true.
Yeah, I just think he's so funny.
No, the Elite Four always has the champion.
The champion,
Yeah.
the champion is that boss guy. You know the one.
Oh, I love. Oh God, what is the crab's name?
Oh, dude, we can't help there. We
call him Shrimp. We call him
Shrimp?
Wait, isn't it literally like mantis shrimp or something?
Yeah,
His
they
name
call
is
him, man.
Jinkosu.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, it is. It is a mantis shrimp, and that's like the coolest character design ever. Is they made an alien guy who boxes based off a mantis shrimp. And I'm like, that's some good shit
What's
right there.
weird is like me and Joe had a moment where we like were talking last time and we're like, hey, I guess the mantis shrimp is part of the crew, huh? Because we were just like, because he got involved in like the initial alien invasion, I think, and me and Joe were
He was
just
in the Loch Ness Monster arc.
no, but
like-
he also got involved in the
yeah.
initial invasion, and I remember both of us were kind of surprised at that because he also came in an alternate form that we completely forgot he had. We're like his eyes are bulging out. Was like, is that the mantis guy? Like we couldn't even
Yeah.
tell.
He's like, what are y'all doing here, businessman?
Yeah, businessman. It was so confusing. Speaking of power-ups, though, Gigi's been working on a like. He even considered calling it a Kamehameha, which I'm like, that's great. Like,
Yeah.
that's
He's
fantastic.
like, no, I can't call it that.
I think he just calls it
Yeah.
Evil Gun, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like a
Yeah.
chapter 97 thing, but it's like a good build up to him shooting the big one in that one. But I will say, the big big payoff to like the Momo being a spirit stuff is him coming back to the food. And the Momo love ya, which I particularly love ya here because it's like very, it's like in a way where it's like it's not a full I love you, but I love you, you know, like it's her coy way of not quite saying it. So as someone who wants this romance to actually be on screen and not just like hinted upon like every shonen ever, like I would love a couple arcs of them actually dating, but we'll see. But you know, this is good progress, and him eating this curry is the rawest shit.
It's so good.
And I'll take a bite.
God, I say it like every time we talk, but Okarun's grandma design is so badass.
What a phrase.
What a
His
sentence.
grandma does. Yeah. When I flipped this page, I literally heard the like One Piece Doom sound come on.
And that to be continued, man. Dandadan anime, like I don't know what studio can handle the power of this person's art because
I don't know, man.
God, I always forget his name. That's actually forgetting the author's name is worse than forgetting the character names. Tatsu, that's right.
Tatsu, yeah.
He's an artist god, especially for a weekly.
I just
format.
remember every time we think about it, it's like it's a show. It's not Shonen Jump. It's a Ryu move. It's something.
Yeah, Tatsumaki. The invasion doesn't go very well right off the bat, but I do like this build up to the evil gun. Like this is just a great Joji chapter or GG chapter rather. But really, the main attraction is the flashback with Vamola, which I think starts on chapter 101.
Yeah.
Which I'll jump to that. So, Tyler, has there been anything that's like been lacking in Dandadan for you? Because this kind of is a direct follow up to what me and Joe said was lacking last time we talked. Or you just vibing?
Recently in Dandadan?
Just maybe in general, like 100 chapters in, like me and Joe were expecting some more emotional stories, but what about you?
Jeez. Not enough people have been knocked out and had their clothes fly off yet.
Tyler, these are young adults. They're not even, I think. They're high schoolers.
It's literally the first page the girl gets stripped down. And I'm just saying, like, I can get more Okarun nudity. I can get more Gigi nudity. Like
we get actually
just-
Gigi gets nude frequently with the evil eye, as I remember.
exactly. Like recently, I've just been missing it. That's it,
bro. Yeah,
Look,
man,
that,
I'm looking at these first few pages of this flashback, and it's fucked up.
and individuals' takes do not account for the entirety of the Roundabout cast. I would just say that. But I get it. He set a precedent, and now it's gone. But you get this flashback, and it's immediately the most gruesome thing we have seen in Dandadan.
This fucking sun monster,
Yeah,
is terrifying. Like,
and did we not see? We saw a similar alien. No, I'm mistaking it. We saw like that thing that clung to the walls during the May chapters. They were attack with tentacles. This is different. This is like horror, freakish things beyond human imagination. And you get like taken to this warland with these badass grandmas, and it's such a shock. And it's like such a good setup for what this flashback will be.
do you remember what our theory for Vamola was?
I don't.
From our last podcast, we thought that Vamola was like a princess that was being forced to marry somebody and was running away.
Yeah, we thought she was being forced to marry like the main alien guy, and we were way off, clearly.
100%.
I mean, what we got is fantastic, I will say.
Oh, it's way better than I could have imagined, I think.
I will just say everything about like the presentation of this flashback. It's 4 chapters more or less, and I think it uses them so well. Like you get to see her grow up, you get to see like what kind of personality she has because she can talk. So that's already different from the Vamola we know. I don't know about you guys, but I got really attached to the grandma trio. Like they're all very, I don't know, very sweet. There was a lot of
they're good.
They're grannies,
especially Banga. They're badass grannies. Like they hit different. But Jesus Christ, in chapter 102, you get the giant alien queen. Let me take a good look at this thing. Like it doesn't even have a back.
It doesn't even have arms. It's got like, it's just pure processing power. That's all it is.
Thinking on it, maybe this thing won't show. I mean, if it does show up, it's not going to be able to fight. Because all it does is get fed things to poop out new armors.
Yeah.
Damn, look at that thing, though. That thing be thanging.
He's thick.
Oh, I forgot these guys are gross, like Cthulhu aliens.
Yeah.
This definitely has, like, maybe... Like, I don't think any chapter before this has had this much dismemberment and, like, heads blown off, people cut in half.
I honestly thought I had accidentally opened up a Berserk chapter when I turned to that page. I was like, what the fuck? Just
There is no shortage than like 6 people getting absolutely brained in this flashback. Just like walking around and getting decapitated. Did you have any theories for what happened to the men? Because I think that's like a early lingering theory, because like, or thing to think about, because everyone you see is a woman in this society.
I didn't think about that at all before it happened.
I was thinking they were just dead, personally.
I did too. I thought they just kind of got like eradicated. Like this is like they lost the war and then like killed all the men, and the women are like running around trying to like flee for their lives, basically. And I think we kind of see a little bit of that because later we go to like the concentration camp, and I think they're all men in there.
Yes, in the second to last, most recent chapter, it was all men. So that's the answer to that question is they were all captured and they're not fighting back, unlike the women who are taking up arms. In chapter 103, I did want to talk about like this section in the cave. This was like nearly the peak of the flashback where like things are getting dark. Vamola wants to die. Like the other 2 grannies leave. I thought they would be dead at this point for sure. Which I don't think these grannies die as far as we see in the flashback. So there's a chance, if ever so slight, that they're still alive being tortured. Which is,
maybe worse.
I mean, look, it means that they can be reunited with Vamola. I don't think Vamola's been gone for that long. So that's like
I don't think so either.
It's been less than 6 months, I would wager. So, I would take 3 months of torture to be able to see my daughter again,
But also, it might be working because different worlds have different time. Like when you go across space and time, like time gets really funky. So it might be like a whole like 2 years before they were finally able to figure out where Vamola went to come get her.
Thinking about it, the aliens did eventually find the suit, which means that someone squealed, so they're probably not okay.
Yeah. Oh, I found the hologram monster thing that did the were the Serpio dudes with the multi-clones.
You should post it on Midcast chat real quick so I
will.
can see it.
Yeah, I
See
found
what
him.
you're talking about.
He's hanging out on the the pyramid. Hold on, where there it is.
Oh, hey, look at that. He is there.
Yeah.
Because I forgot he wasn't one of the Serpoions. He's like some dude attacking in the middle of that fight. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta love it. But I think like Banga, the granny, my favorite scene is like lamenting that she was a cook at one point, and these hands are not meant for killing. Up to this point, she's been such a hard ass, right? So like these humanizing moments where like a hardened fighter is like, I'm not supposed to even be like this. That's just like a shortcut to my heart. That hits very well for me. And the rest of the flashback is just like a mad dash. And every page I'm turning, I'm like,
go hard.
What was that, Joe?
It just goes hard.
Yeah, like every page I'm turning, I'm just expecting the three grannies to slowly die.
Yeah.
And I will say, like, the main granny convincing the others to fight. It's first of all showing up in the dinosaur suit, very badass.
I wanted to point this out. This spread here. Before we do the flashback, Vamola does the same exact move and pose to save.
I knew Momo. It looked familiar. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it was just right before that. So that it's a good callback.
She's just emulating her mama, and
that
mama has like a badass speech. Like this this page, like it's so raw. It's so cool.
Yeah. Let's go.
And then like. The page of them revolting. Look at this. This is some peak fiction right here. Look at the art.
Oh, man, you saw my post about it, right?
Yeah, that got me really excited to like catch up.
I was like, yo, this is the fucking Rumbling 2.0.
Except it's the little guys rumbling.
Dude, look at those things like stab that pillar through that alien.
Oh my god, cool. They did.
Yeah, like they're working together to like try to raise this pillar, and you see some of them
Ultraman.
On the left. Some of them are just getting mowed down, and there's the giant dino. Like this man did this chapter the week after he did the last one. It's just like crazy.
Yeah, man's actually crazy. It's
the best artist in the biz right now, if you ask me. I'm sure there'd be some contention, but
I can't believe this man made a good Godzilla arc. Just having Big Monster Boy Kaiju come in again.
And as a Kaiju fan that Joe is, I'm sure that hits very well.
Yes.
Which the last thing I think to talk about with the flashback.
Also, the two grannies are here, by the way.
Yes, so they're not dead yet. That's what I was saying. None of them have died on screen, but like one of them gave the coordinates. So
yeah,
I think they might have died or betrayed. But yeah, the last scenes I think are the last things to talk about. And Joe and I were saying last time, we're like, we need Dandadan's like Alabasta. We need to see like what this like a elevation of what the Dandadan story can be. Because like we always ogle at the art, we laugh at the good jokes, and to be fair, we've always felt really positive towards the like ghost flashbacks that we get. But I guess it had been a while, right? Like. I think the Evil Eye arc is in like the 60s or something. So it had been like a solid 30 plus chapters since we've gotten that. And I think this is even better than the Ghost flashbacks because this is like an alien flashback of a party member for our group. So it feels more personal, personally. And it's even more fucked up than those Ghost flashbacks, which is crazy because they were pretty dark to begin with. I remember like Acro Silky had like that thing where they stole her daughter, so she jumped off a roof, and it was really sad. And the Evil Eye was just a torture child, so they're already dark, but yeah. Like just the gruff grandma face turning into like a proper like old lady face here at the end with the crying. I thought that was a good touch.
That was very good touches. That made me actually like tear up a little bit. I was like, "Oh shit,
It's so
I
good.
care. I care now."
I wanted to yell "I care now," and I did. And then you get this cool "I love you" page at the
This
end.
man made what, like 3 spreads in this one chapter?
And they're all great.
Yeah.
But it's always like that.
Two
Yeah, like the
spreads.
5 chapters
Yeah.
are even more insane.
Yeah.
But hey, he can make a good crying face, which is the sign of a good manga. But yeah, that brings us back to the final chapter, which I had to remind myself. It's like I forgot that the crew was watching the entire
Yeah.
flashback.
Yeah.
Which kind of explains the end of this chapter. But I'll point out that the "I love you" at the end, I just realized, like, I'm pretty sure, didn't she say "I love you" to Okarun? And
I think so, yeah.
She was just saying it. Like, I don't think she. Well, I don't know. Now that I think about it, she kind of knows what those words might mean, actually, because she's like knows about marriage. But the point was, Okarun said that's cool and all, but I'm going for Momo, so he kind of shut her ass down. And that's what he confessed to the screen, but not Momo, that he's going to confess to her soon. So any day now, end of this arc, surely.
Hopefully.
But yeah, Joe. So she's not getting married off to a prince. She's just fulfilling her mother's last wish,
Yeah.
which is pretty sweet. How do you feel about that? As like
I think it's good. It's also like I think it also softens the blow, or I guess not soften the blow, but like it just makes Vamola a better character because she's not like fleeing from. I guess she is fleeing from something, but she is like trying to move on. She's like being stronger about it, and she's trying to find help, rather than like being like, I have to go do this thing, but I really don't want to, which is a bit cliche.
Yeah, like it's that fulfilling the mother's wish element that I think like adds like a cool spice to it. It's sweet.
She's not on a character journey. She's on a character survival.
Yes.
But I do love. I was like, this is me and Joe. Like, if we're at 6th Street, woo wee! Here comes some wild ass shit.
The fucking kaiju, bro.
That one's Joe, obviously.
Dino Girl comes up, punches your bro in the face. What do?
Sorry, Joe. It was nice knowing you.
Yeah, I'm dead. Oh shit!
I like her journey. She's fighting bears. She's seeing people kiss. And she's like, "Is that how babies are made?"
She's eating grass.
Yeah, like that doesn't look like edible grass, but that's fine. She's got.
No.
She's lived in the wild in a crazy planet, so I'm sure she's fine.
But if we catch up to them meeting her,
yeah, which I forgot. We get introduced to her as an invisible dinosaur who turns into a big dinosaur who fights a mech in the craziest fight of the series.
God, we get that. I like how we get the little tiny panel version of that crazy ass page turn that started this arc with the dino laying in the rubble.
Yeah, it's just cool to see like what were insane spreads just be kind of condensed here. I wonder if he redrew these, because I know like Oda has a policy of never redrawing flashbacks. These might be the same panels but cropped off.
I think so.
Which is totally fair. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because I just think Oda's an insane person. But so is Tatsu, so he might not. And then we get like the montage of the sweet times. This was good because it reminded me of a lot of scenes. I particularly like when they were sleeping like and hiding from what's her name?
Reiko.
Which by the way, like, do we have any theories for what Reiko is gonna do? Because that's still like an ongoing plot thread for some reason.
Oh, like I think partially the big alien's about to kill Momo, and then Reiko's gonna come and it's like, no, she's my bitch to kill, and then fight the fucking alien.
I love me kaiju battles. To save it's very King Godzilla versus the like that one where he fights Ghidorah and there's like just a family running underneath them. It's those vibes.
Yeah.
Other good scenes like when they're hiding from Reiko, also up here. When they're doing the photos together.
When they're in the mirror trying to get her out.
Yeah, and then we have like we cut back and everyone's almost dead.
Yeah.
This was really good. I remember like the chapter like after the first invasion and Momo gets really mad, and I remember like saying like this is really unfair for Momo. She's being really mean. And
Yeah.
it actually hurts even more now that we know what
Yeah.
Vamola's gone through.
Yeah.
But that's
And
fine.
Momo's like, it's my fault. It's all my fault. I came to this planet to run away, and I brought my troubles with me.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
to be fair, that is exactly what happened. But you know, at the end of the day, they're all gonna be besties.
yeah.
And I guess Momo also, or Okarun also heard it, which
Yeah.
he must be nearby then, which would be a reveal.
Yeah. Well, he's the speedster. He can run very fast. I think also the comlinks have like a huge range to them as well because they put one on him before they leave.
Okay, but if that's the case, how come he hasn't told him he's coming? Because I don't think that's happened.
Who knows?
So I think he just entered range right before the flashback, conveniently.
Maybe.
But this last page is great with
Yeah.
Momo crying, looking intense.
We're gonna. Is this gonna be the new like staple? Is that we're gonna get a killer like page turn for everyone of our party members?
Yo, that'd be like some great manga volume covers.
They really
Yeah.
would be like, yeah, because this is the exact like the last page on the right is the cool shot of the badass protagonist. I think the other two look too beat up, but maybe that'll make them look even cooler now.
Yeah.
I also quite like the parallel here. I just noticed of them like knocked out here, and then they're like also knocked out here, but they're waking up with like more resolve. Man, Gigi looks rough.
Yeah. That boy's not having a good time.
But that kind of catches us up on all the main topics. If what else do y'all want to talk about, if anything? Any predictions, or Tyler, any other thoughts that you've wanted to tell us since this is your first time chatting with us?
How far are you in Mob Psycho?
So I'm on season 3, episode 3. I just started watching again.
Season 3 of Mob Psycho and Dandadan have some interesting similarities, but not overall thematic wise, just like small story plot wise.
Interesting. I've always felt like they're cut from similar cloths but like not the like the one like the Mob Psycho anime is cut from the same cloth as the Dandadan manga, where they go insane and have insane alien ghost fights, you know. I know the manga is drawn by one, so it doesn't look like that cool, because one's kind of just a goofy little guy when he draws. But hey, apparently his drawings have gotten a lot better. But I'll keep that in mind as I watch season 3. Now that I'm playing Tears of the Kingdom, which is like the most laid-back game, I can do a lot of audiobooks and TV shows while playing. So I plan on doing that.
I am so excited to see what the hell shapes up after this. You know, like
I think I'm expecting really good action chapters for 7 chapters straight. Which, I mean, that's the Dandadan special, but it's gonna hit different this time.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get like 4 or 5 more chapters, and the arc will be done. Maybe because, well, he's not like Oda where he stretches it out. Like it goes pretty quickly when you look back on it.
Okay,
Yeah.
but manga arcs go quick until they don't. Like,
True.
like if you compare a like Baratier to an Alabasta, that's quite the jump, you know. And so
Yeah,
it could happen.
Well, we just finished Logtown. Like we just passed that part in this manga, so you know we're not quite there yet.
Yeah, but you know we work at a different pace these days. Manga go way faster now. So I don't know. I think this still has quite a bit, because I don't think they're just like Okarun's gonna show up and defeat like the whole threat in 4 or 5 chapters.
No. They got. What was the whole gimmick? Like the power suits can only last for so long, right? That was the whole like thing. Is at the beginning of this whole invasion was that like they only needed to fight for 10 minutes.
I believe so. There was also something about like, I believe the Earth's gravity is weird for them. There was something with like the Earth itself being like unfavorable for them to fight. I get the feeling that this will end with someone getting kidnapped, and then we go like galactical, which is going to make this like kind of conjoined arcs, and definitely the biggest storyline so far.
Would it be weird that like Turbo Granny gets accidentally kidnapped? Or like, oh well, whatever, and then it has side effects on Okaroon? But that'd be just too much of this reflective arc, right? Because he just got injured.
I don't think Turbo Granny is a good pick for like. She just doesn't have the groundwork yet to be a sad kidnap victim.
I feel like if we do Vamola, I think that's too on the nose, maybe, or just like.
What if
I feel like we need.
Would Momo be too like annoying? I could see Momo kidnap.
I could see Momo for sure because they're like, oh, she's so powerful, we need to take her back and study her, kind of a thing.
Yeah, and then Vamola, would be part of the crew at that point, and she gets to pay her back.
Yeah. Maybe Mantis Shrimp can fix his translator and get her to talk in English now that we've had this whole flashback. Or maybe because they've all had this psychic connection, they just know her language so they can talk to her.
That seems like the humor that this manga would pull off, if you ask me.
Yeah.
It would work like that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I also think it might be after this we might get a clean break and start like a whole new arc.
Yeah, like
once again,
I just don't see this resolving. Like this invasion's crazy. Like 6 dudes have touched ground and they are killing our crew. And there's entire warships coming. So I guess they could stop the teleporters, right?
Right.
I just, do we even know what that would entail? That seems like information we still need to figure out, and then they have to like go try to do it, which in manga time could be like a dozen or dozens of chapters.
Yeah, they might have to take down Tokyo Tower and become terrorists.
Ooh, terrorist arc. Well,
terrorist arc.
All these fights happen in the cool alien dimension or ghost dimension where no one can see it, which I've always thought is a cool element of this story. It lets them get away with a lot of shit.
Yeah.
That way they can destroy every city they're in and have no repercussions.
True. But I don't think that's happening now. I think it's real space time.
Is this real? I thought they blanketed the zone, but I forget.
No, I think they're in like real space, opening a portal to like the world at this point.
Bro, wait, that's got ramifications worth talking about. If that's the case.
They don't mention it, but.
If they don't mention it, I'm going to assume that they come with an implicit, like, shroud of hiding. Because this would mean that the world now knows about destructive aliens, and I don't think Dandadan wants to get into the world politics of aliens, personally.
Maybe. Yeah.
So I don't think that'll happen. I guess after this, I'll go back to when the invasion started and see if I can double check. We could wrap it up there if there's nothing else. That covered everything.
No, I got nothing.
Yeah, you know what? We talked for a good length, so let's wrap it up there, and we'll reconvene at an appropriate time, probably at the end of this arc. If it's about as long as Joe said, if it's as short as you said, Joe, where it's 5 chapters, we'll probably catch up at like the middle of the next arc or something. Give it some space.
We'll probably do another like 15, 16 chapters and come back.
The problem, Joe, is Chainsaw Man, where we are approaching like 23 chapters, and that actually has a shit ton to talk about. You didn't let me know it was talk time. That's on you.
I was just like, I'm gonna keep reading this, and I assumed you were reading as well, and then
I stockpile these bad boys.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll deal with this devil, and then we'll talk about it. I think that's what we'll do next.
Dude, that is okay. That might actually be a long one because a lot has happened in the chapters.
True.
Maybe the sooner the better. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, you let me know how you feel. And Tyler, thank you for joining us. That was fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.